When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But when life gives you peppers, you make hot sauce. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Boss Grows. My name is Boss. I am a Colorado certified gardener and a lover of all things spicy. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of having a plan to deal with your peppers as they start coming out of your garden. It's mid-August, and that means you've probably got piles and piles of peppers building up out in your garden, and it's time to harvest. But what do you do with all those peppers? That's one of the most common questions I get because I grow hundreds of pepper plants. But the answer is still the same. You eat them. How do you eat them? And how do you eat them in time? Well, in a lot of cases, that means you have to do some preservation. You have to preserve your peppers one way or another. There's a lot of ways to do that. You can freeze them. I freeze peppers every year. You can make them into salsa. You can make them into chili powder or flakes by dehydrating them. But today I'm going to show you my absolute favorite thing to do with my peppers from the garden, and that's making hot sauce. Making hot sauce is actually a lot easier than people think, and overthinking it is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. There's a couple of key things that I'll walk you through that you have to keep in mind, like making sure your pH is low and keeping everything clean and sanitized. Other than that, have fun, experiment. Look at all of these bottles behind me. These are all different recipes that I've made over the years because every time I sit down to make a batch of hot sauce, it's going to be unique. Almost never do I make the same recipe twice, except for this one. So today I'm going to show you how I make one of my absolute favorite hot sauces. I call it Hawaii Jive-O, and it is a hot pepper sauce mixed with pineapple, mango, brown sugar, and just an absolute delicious balance of sweet and heat. All right, so first we're just gonna check out our ingredients for this. I've got a couple of pineapples, a couple of mangoes, a couple of bell peppers, and a bunch of mixed mild, medium, and hot peppers. I have red wine vinegar. I have white wine vinegar. I also, because I'm special and extra like that, have apple cider vinegar. I use multiple types of vinegar in most of my recipes. It helps balance out the different flavors and reduce that overall vinegar kind of funk. We're gonna use light brown sugar here. I also have some dried chili powder there. And that's really all there is to this recipe. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it's delicious. How do we get started? We're gonna go ahead and just chop up our ingredients into small pieces because everything is going in the blender. All of my fruits and peppers are going in the blender to make a very nice, delicious puree. With your bell peppers, just take out the pith if you want because that's gonna be a little bit more bitter than sweet. Slice them up into small pieces. Doesn't have to be pretty, which is good. I am not a chef. I'm not good at pretty knife work. Just put them in chunks. I just fill up a bowl until I have a full bowl, and then that's gonna go into the blender cup after this. So I just throw everything in a bowl and it's ready to go. Slice up our pineapples. The pineapple themselves, I'm not gonna show you how to cut up a pineapple because I'm not the best at it, but look at that. It's just suddenly chunks. And that's the best way to do it. Don't put all the effort into slicing it, just use magic. Same thing with the mango here. The more magic you use, the faster your prep goes. Just kidding. I just don't want to bore you because you know how to cut fruit up, right? So cut everything up. Again, it goes into a blender cup. Doesn't really matter what order you do this in. It's all gonna get combined together. Some of these peppers are still a little frozen because I've been collecting my harvest throughout the season and I didn't want them to go bad before they got used in sauce. Always blend with liquid, just a pro tip. So in this case, I'm gonna dump the entire bottle of white wine vinegar in and just hit blend. I go up to about a 2 or a 3 and I let it run for several minutes until it's pretty well incorporated. You gotta do this in several batches unless you have a huge blender or you're making a small amount of hot sauce. So here I am just gonna do a few rounds. I'll dump in my dried chili powder as well. This just adds a great flavor in my opinion. Once everything's blended up though, you've got it in bowls or in some other container as you've been taking it out of the blender. I use a food mill. This step is optional. You could move right on to cooking it, but I like that sauce to be really velvety, really smooth, and not too chunky. A food mill basically just has like a grate at the bottom, almost like a mesh, and you spin and spin and spin and spin and spin, and you push all of your mash kind of through it. It's sitting on top of a bowl, and what comes out is the liquid and some of the finer particulate, but not the bigger chunks that the blender missed. This helps ensure that my sauce is going to be smooth, creamy, and velvety, and really nice texture. This also sucks. I should look into see if there's like an electric version of a food mill because, boy, this takes a long time and a lot of effort. Eventually, though, You get it down to just kind of this particulate solids on the top, scrape the bottom off. You can save those solids. A lot of times I throw those in the dehydrator and then crush them up in a coffee grinder, and then you've got a beautiful powder that matches the flavor of your hot sauce. Pro tip. But now with this beautiful looking sauce, I'm gonna keep doing this through the food mill until I have everything ready to go, at which point we go to the stove. So pour this into a stock pot on your stove. I've got multiple buckets. However much you have is kind of going to tell you how big of a stock pot you need to use. I'm using one of my bigger ones because this is a large batch of sauce. Everything goes in nice and easy. Don't be too messy with it, which is usually my problem. You're going to turn the heat on to about low, medium low, somewhere in there. It's a 3 out of 10 on my stove. Always stir. You want to keep this stirring as much as possible as it heats up because you don't want it to burn or cook to the bottom of the pan. And really, I'm gonna actually let this simmer for about an hour and a half. That sounds like a long time, but the goal here is to reduce and blend those flavors. Add your brown sugar once it's starting to get warm. Don't be an idiot and do this right here, watch. That's how you make a mess. Don't be boss, don't be an idiot, don't make a mess. Again, cook it for about an hour and a half. While it's cooking, take that time to clean up your dishes and get your bottles prepared. These bottles have all been freshly washed and sanitized with Star San. If you don't know what Star San is, I've got a video about how to mix it, I'll link to as well. While I was cooking it, I also added the rest of my vinegar, that entire bottle of red wine vinegar and some of the apple cider vinegar. It's really important when making hot sauce that you get your pH to at least 4.6. Ideally, you'll want to aim for about a 4.0. That gives you some buffer and you can feel safe knowing that you're going to kill any botulism or any other bacteria that might be lurking in your bottles. This has been on, you can see from the clock there, about an hour and a half. It is ready to go. It's reduced down. I've got it in bowls that'll make it easier to pour, and it's time to get it into bottles. To bottle it, I just use a funnel. There's probably smarter or easier ways to do this, but I just take my time. The funnel has also been washed and sanitized. I move from bottle to bottle and pour in 5 ounces of steaming hot, like really, really hot sauce. Don't wait for it to cool down. You want it to go in these bottles hot. That'll also just help ensure a little bit of sanitation. And then put some lids on it, flip it upside down to ensure that hot sauce touches all parts of that bottle. And really now it just needs labels and a little bit of a glow up. So I go extra, I put labels on mine, I share them with family and friends and occasionally make them available online. Today, I am actually going to give you a chance to win some Hawaii Jive-O. So leave a comment below, tell me what you would put this on, and if you're in the United States, I will pick a winner next week and get a bottle of hot sauce out to you. All right, so now you've seen how easy it can be to make hot sauce, and this one is really good. So I'm gonna give it a quick taste test so that you can get my immediate reactions to this particular batch. I have my sauce maker's bottle here. If there's ever a bottle that doesn't get quite full, that's the one I keep for myself. Smells really good. You can absolutely smell the fruit, which I love, and the sweetness. So give it a pour. You can see beautiful consistency. It's velvety, it's thick. Oops, I poured a little too much. But that's great. Nice consistency. Not too chunky, not too watery. It's gonna stick to your food, it's gonna stick to your lips, and it's gonna be delicious. All right, I made a little bit of a mess pouring this because I was so excited to watch that texture, but Hawaii Jive-O, let's give this batch a taste test. Immediately sweet. And just a beautiful sweetness. The light brown sugar is perfect for this sauce because it pairs really well with like the tropical tangy sweetness from the pineapple and the mango. It gives you this beautiful kind of candy, sweet, sugary taste, and then the heat kicks in. In this case, because I used a mixture of medium to mild to hot peppers, it's not overwhelming, but it is hotter than what you would get at most restaurants, right? Or in the grocery store for most normal hot sauces. It's hotter than Tabasco or Cholula or anything like that. The burn is really heavy at the back of my throat, but my tongue and my mouth are still enjoying that sweet candy flavor. I love this hot sauce. That's why I keep making it. I use it on tacos all the time. You wouldn't think like, oh, why do I want the sweet flavor or fruity flavor on my taco? Trust me. If you're ever having like al pastor especially, oh yeah. Chicken nuggets or chicken fingers, really tasty. Roasted chicken, delicious. Pork, this is one of those hot sauces that you can almost use like a barbecue sauce when it comes to pork, you know, so pork chops, shredded pork, whatever you're having, give it a try. You'll probably really enjoy it. If you want to make this recipe, I do have the rough directions below. Experiment, like I said, just make sure you know that you're getting it at a low enough pH so that it's acidic enough that it'll be safe in these bottles for a while. Make sure you're taking your time to keep your environment clean. Practice good food handling. Don't be a dumbass. And enjoy your pepper harvest. I'll be doing videos in the next couple of weeks about how you can dehydrate peppers and make powders and flakes, and just the process I go through before I put my peppers in the freezer so that I can make sure I get the most out of them for the longest period of time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, maybe become a member and get some exclusive perks, including access to my own pepper seeds out of my garden at no cost to you besides membership. Cool stuff coming, and no matter what else happens, get out in the garden because plants help us grow.